What's up, YouTube? It's Onion Bomb here, and welcome to my thoughts on Call of Duty Infinite Warfare video 4 months later. So, it's been about 4 months since the game released. It released in November of 2016. It is now March of 2017. So, I had 4 months to get a feel for the game. I know it didn't take me the full 4 months to get a feel for a game. I wanted to do this video like a 2 month later, but I just got around to doing it now. But yeah, either way, from 2 months to 4 months, my opinion still hasn't changed on Infinite Warfare. I like to share it with you guys. Now, I'm going to get this out right now. We all know that Infinite Warfare is not a loved game by many people, and including me. I do not have a positive view on this game. This view is going to be negative. I'm just going to explain the reasons why I don't like the game, because some people do tend to just blindly hate on it. I do have my reasons, so that's why I'm making this video. So here we go. I know this is pretty bad, but I still haven't beaten the campaign yet. And I remember back in Ghost and Advanced Warfare, I had the campaign beaten day 2 of the game released. Now, Black Ops 3, I was a little bit behind because I did a playthrough with Commander Rising, and we had to coordinate with each other's schedules, and we had to set up our recordings and film each episode, so that did take a little bit longer. It still didn't take this long. I still don't know if I'm going to do a walkthrough or not. I just kind of want to beat it at this point just because I'm really behind. But from what I heard, it's really good. It's like a movie, but I feel like they focused way too much on it. They focused too much on the campaign. Also are focusing way too much on supply drops. I'll get more into the supply drops a little bit later. But there was no leaderboards, no combat record, none of that when the first time this game got released, and it was just recently that they came back. I don't know an exact date, but it took them way too long to get leaderboards in. I was happy that leaderboards were there, but I definitely was not forgiving because that was pretty pathetic, honestly. Leaderboards are like a basic game needs, and the fact that they didn't have them for months after release is pretty sad, honestly. Also, when this game first came out, I had horrible frame rate issues. They didn't happen on MWR, it was only on IW, and I couldn't even play it. I tried restarting the game, or I was in the middle of a game, and I tried to go back to the Xbox Home and go back to IW. It still didn't work, and I ended up just playing Minecraft afterwards, and it was horrible lag. Also, there's some aspects of this game that feel like they're from Black Ops 3. Not innovated, but watered down. And the main example for this are the specialist, or they're called combat rigs in this. The characters, so-called characters, they don't look that good. They're pretty bland. Each of the 9, even 10, the 10th one in Black Ops 3, you got through a supply drop, through a challenge. Sorry. They each had a unique personality, and I enjoyed each one of those characters. I mean, I didn't enjoy every one of their specialists because, let's be honest, Reject was pretty gay. But this one, just the characters, they aren't even there. The armor for them is just bland. The taunts aren't that good either. There was dabs and nays and that, and now in here you just I can't even describe. There's new moves that no one's ever does and no one's ever heard of, and they're just kind of weird. And also, some of the new ones I see, but there's other ones, the reactive armor, it feels really bland when you put it on. For kinetic armor, in Black Ops 3, there was like a big sound. It was like zzzz, or something like that. It was like really shiny. This one's really dull and like you don't even know it's on. So like stuff like that, just like it's just really watered down from Black Ops 3. So that's that with that. But now moving on to the maps. The maps are not good at all. I remember when this game first came out, I was still getting used to the maps. I kept waiting for a good map, but like it just wouldn't come around. And like for this game, like I couldn't even see which map could be a competitive map. I mean, of course, now I see the competitive maps as the competitive maps, but when they like weren't, when I didn't know them at the time, I couldn't really predict which one. None of them seemed like competitive maps. There's really the map Throwback is the only map I really like. I do somewhat like Retaliation too, but all the other maps, like they're like okay, or I can deal with them, or like maybe, or they're just bad. And also they're very small for this movement system, and it's just they need a little bit more bigger maps. Also, the map Terminal got absolutely ruined in my opinion. I don't mean just because of the remaster, I mean because boots on the ground maps do not work for jetpack maps. It doesn't feel the same to me, and I love Terminal in Modern Warfare 2, and it really pains me to say this, but I really hate Terminal in IW. Infinite Warfare's time to kill is also very fast, and that's not really a good thing. From Black Ops 3 to this game, there's a huge difference. It's way faster. Most guns are like 4-hit kills. Others, like even with close range, like those 5 bullets still go by really fast. And shotguns and LMGs. You know when all the shotguns and all the LMGs are banned in competitive, you know they're OP. Now, I really don't know how I feel about the Zombies mode. The Zombies mode's okay. I didn't expect it to even... I definitely didn't expect it to beat Treyarch Zombies. Compete with it, maybe, but not really. I just kind of felt like it could be there. I think it's definitely the step in the right direction from Extinction, because I didn't really like Extinction. It still is a little lacking on replayability, and it feels kind of weird and not the same. I know people don't really like the more of a laid back approach to zombies, and it's more of a non-serious approach. I would pick serious over non-serious, but I still think this is okay. It's just I definitely don't play as much as I do Treyarch Zombies, so it's still not the best, but I guess it's one of the better aspects of IW. One more thing before I get to the big major one, and that is the movement system was a little bit weird. I kind of gotten used to it now, but it's definitely different from Black Ops 3's, and it's definitely different from Advanced Warfare's Exosuit. It's just, I don't know, you can roll on everything. It's a change, and it feels a little weird at times, but I get it's not the biggest issue in the world, but this next one is, and that is their supply drops. I believe we've gone way too offhand in supply drops. The turning point for me was when so many of the Mark II weapons that you can only get from supply drops released before the leaderboards. And if you're not going to fix a game that needs to be fixed and you're going to add supply drops, that does nothing. No one really cares about supply drops. There's nothing to really even be hype about in IW supply drops, and they're still adding stuff. They're adding so much of garbage camos and all kinds of camos and emblems and stuff that really, like, if you get it, maybe it looks cool, maybe you rock it, but like, do you really need it? It is not acceptable to, instead of fixing your game, add stuff that people don't even really want. And the stuff that they do want, like the new weapons that were released, which I know majority of people got annoyed of probably, but you still like want the new weapons. But there's so many common camos and so many common emblems and calling cards. And I say common, but like sometimes the rare ones, even the epic ones, sometimes they're just ugly and you don't want them. Like, and there's no way to sometimes they'll come out with like hack, so you can like definitely get a weapon, but it's still like mad extra crypto. They just make it so hard so you'll buy more COD points to get more supply drops. They make it so hard for you to actually get the weapons you want. Thank goodness season pass owners like myself got the new assault rifle, or I'd be really mad because I could not. And I know they're gonna come out with more weapons, even though they came out with what should have been a year's worth of supply drop things in like a day before the leaderboards, before they released the leaderboards. But they'll come up with way more supply drop stuff. And every time supply drop stuff comes up, I always like, oh, I'll never get that because it's just so hard to get, and I refuse to buy any COD points to buy any supply drops. I will only use crypto keys. Now, I bought advanced supply drops back in the day of Advanced War, but yeah, I do regret that decision to buy supply drops. But I can't do anything about now because there's nothing, no refunds on that, especially if I pay money and get crap. But see, that's the thing, you're not guaranteed anything. And some people like who buy supply drops like for YouTube videos and stuff. Now, if you use crypto keys, that's fine. But if you use like COD points and stuff, that's just kind of buying into what people don't want. Anyway, I might be getting into a little bit of a ramble here, but the summary of that is just supply drops are just way too focused on besides the actual game, and the fact that what should have been, like I said, a full year's worth of supply drop content was released before the leaderboards were added is just pathetic. I know I already said that, but it just had to be said again. But I don't want to 100% trash this game, even though it sounds like I did. But just, the campaign sounds really good. It sounds amazing, actually. I can't wait to get to it. The in-game taunts, like the taunts that you can do like when you're actually on the battlefield, I'm not gonna lie, that was an amazing addition. That was really fun. That's really fun to use. I love that. And the competitive scene, that's actually fun too. It's probably the funnest thing about IW multiplayer. Pubs are actually kind of drier than most Call of Duties, but I'll still play them. I know, like, the competitive scene is the competitive scene still, regardless of the Call of Duty, so I don't want to give it too much credit for that, but still, credit where credit is due, and the competitive scene in Infinite Warfare is pretty fun. But yeah, for the most part, that is my complete thoughts on IW 4 months later. I know that was a very negative point of view, but this is just, in my opinion, this is just not a good Call of Duty. Sorry, Infinity Ward. Hopefully you can do better next time. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I can't wait for the next Call of Duty. And MWR, I know this is my thoughts on IW, but really quickly, in MWR, I'm glad they added it to IW. I know people probably wanted that separately, but, it's whatever. And supply drops in MWR, that was a horrible mistake. I'm actually kind of mad about that because the point of a remastered is to remaster the game exactly so you can have some nostalgia with it and rebuild some memories with the game. And there was not supply drops. I believe Bossman Spencer said this. There was not supply drops in Call of Duty 4. You go back, there isn't supply drops, so it's not the same game. Like, wow. I know complaining won't do anything, but supply drops are here to stay. But supply drops are just, that's almost a video in itself. Just supply drops are just getting way out of hand. But I've talked about it way too much in this video. This was almost a supply drop rant instead of my thoughts on IW. But if supply drops didn't become such a big part in Call of Duty, then I wouldn't have to talk about it that long. But sadly I did. I wish it didn't come to that. But that's all. That was my thoughts on Call of Duty Infinite Warfare 4 months later. Thank you guys for watching. Like or dislike. Subscribe or don't subscribe. You know it's always up to you. And I will see you guys in the next video you watch of me. Goodbye.